Hi guys. Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today, we will learn about the issue that has rattled the Quartermain estate and shaken the hearts of many Port Charles residents. A terrifying and emotional incident has just unfolded, centered around Sasha Gilmore, baby Daisy, Michael Corinthos, and a very troubled Willow Tate. What started as an ordinary day has turned into a crisis filled with fear, revelation, and emotional intensity. Let's get straight to the story. In a recent episode that left viewers holding their breath, Sasha made a chilling discovery. Baby Daisy, who had been peacefully sleeping in her crib, had vanished without a trace. One moment, Sasha was tending to her usual routine, and the next, the crib was empty. Panic gripped her immediately. Sasha, overwhelmed and fearing the worst, ran through the Quartermain mansion calling out Daisy's name, praying this was all a horrible misunderstanding. But with every empty room and every unanswered shout, her terror grew. Realizing the situation was spiraling, Sasha rushed to find Michael, knowing he was the one person she could count on in a moment like this. When she found him, her words came out frantic and breathless. Daisy's gone. The look on Michael's face said it all. Shock, confusion, disbelief, then urgency. Michael wasted no time. He rushed to the Quartermain surveillance room and pulled up the footage from every angle of the estate. The cameras covered every corner of the property. It didn't take long before the horrifying truth appeared on the screen. The footage showed Willow's ex-wife gently picking up baby Daisy, holding her close, and walking away from the nursery. Michael froze. The weight of that moment was heavy. He knew immediately what had happened. After the devastating collapse of their marriage and the painful custody ruling that left her without legal access to Wiley and Amelia, Willow had begun spiraling. Her mental health had quietly deteriorated, and noticed by most. And now, it was clear that grief and longing had pushed her over the edge. Michael knew one thing: Willow wasn't dangerous. Whatever she had done, she hadn't taken Daisy out of malice. This was a mother lost in her pain, acting out of desperation and confusion, not violence. He knew she would never harm a child, especially not an innocent like Daisy. Without hesitation, Michael left the mansion and went straight to Willow's house. Every second mattered. He had no idea how she would react. Would she understand what she had done? Would she cooperate? Or would her fragile state lead her further into delusion? When he arrived at Willow's home, the tension was palpable. Inside, he found her clutching Daisy, humming softly, rocking the baby in her arms. Her expression was distant, her eyes filled with something between comfort and sorrow. She wasn't in her right mind. She whispered words to the baby that echoed the grief of a mother who had lost everything she loved. Michael approached carefully, gently, speaking in a calm voice, trying to anchor Willow back to reality. He didn't yell. He didn't accuse. He reminded her of who she was. He told her he knew she didn't mean harm. He told her he understood the pain she had been living with. And then, most importantly, he made her a promise. Michael looked Willow in the eyes and swore that she would never be cut off from Wiley and Amelia again. He assured her that she could see them whenever she wanted, that he wouldn't keep them from her, that they still needed her, that she still mattered. That promise was the turning point. Something shifted in Willow. Her tension softened, her arms loosened, and tears welled in her eyes. She looked down at Daisy, realization dawning. Quietly, almost brokenly, she handed Daisy back to Michael, whispering an apology that barely escaped her lips. Michael took the baby, holding her close, and wrapped an arm around Willow, not out of obligation, but out of shared grief and humanity. Back at the Quartermain mansion, Sasha waited with her heart in her throat. When Michael returned holding Daisy safe in his arms, the flood of relief nearly knocked her over. She took Daisy into her embrace, hugging her close and whispering words only a mother in fear could understand. She knew how close she had come to a parent's worst nightmare. Though the child had been returned safely, the emotional toll was enormous. Sasha thanked Michael endlessly, grateful not only for bringing Daisy back, but for handling the situation with compassion and grace. She understood that while Willow had made a terrible mistake, it had come from a place of deep emotional agony. Sasha chose not to press charges. She chose to let the moment end with healing instead of punishment. Still, Sasha walked away from this shaken to her core. She knew things had to change. From that moment on, she vowed never to leave Daisy's side again. She became fiercely protective, more vigilant than ever. Sasha understood that no one, not even someone she once considered family, could be entirely trusted when emotional wounds run so deep. Meanwhile, Willow's situation became a wake-up call for everyone who loved her. Michael, despite everything, made good on his promise. He arranged for Willow to be given professional mental health support, working closely with specialists to ensure she received the care she so desperately needed. He spoke to Wiley and Amelia with care, helping them understand that their mother was still part of their lives, even if things had changed. The incident also served as a moment of reflection for Michael. He had spent so long focused on responsibilities in the family businesses, protecting those he loves, making difficult decisions that he'd failed to see the quiet unraveling of someone he once shared his life with. It forced him to take a hard look at how grief affects those around him, and how even when a relationship ends, compassion and accountability must remain. In the wider context of Port Charles, this event doesn't just impact a few people, it touches nearly everyone. Brooklyn and Chase, close friends of Sasha, rally around her in support, offering extra eyes and presence in the Quartermain mansion. Monica, ever the family matriarch, begins advocating for better safeguards around the children on the estate, ensuring such a scare can never happen again. Meanwhile, other residents of Port Charles begin talking quietly about Willow's condition. Some are sympathetic, others are critical, but all recognize the fragility that so many carry, often hidden behind smiles and daily routines. It becomes a reminder that the scars people carry don't vanish just because the world moves on. As the dust settles, several truths remain clear. Sasha's love for Daisy has never been stronger. Her fear turned into fierce determination to protect her daughter at all costs. Michael's ability to navigate a deeply traumatic situation with patience and love prevented tragedy and preserved dignity. And Willow, though broken in many ways, has been given a chance to heal not in isolation, but with the support she truly needs. Still, questions remain. Will Willow recover fully? Will her role in Wiley and Amelia's life be sustainable? Or will more complications arise? Can Sasha truly move on from the trauma of nearly losing her child? Will Michael continue to bear the emotional burden of holding his fractured family together? Next, we will dive deep into the swirling rumors and shocking developments surrounding Sonny Corinthos and his questionable circle of trust. Whispers of betrayal and hidden dangers have taken center stage in Port Charles, as Sonny's latest security team raises red flags with their dubious actions. Could there be a traitor or even toy in Sonny's midst? With mysterious deaths, fiery attacks, and layers of deception piling up, let's unravel the tangled web of intrigue that threatens to upend Sonny's world. Buckle up, because this is a story filled with twists, turns, and chilling possibilities. Suspicious security, a breach of trust. At the heart of this unfolding drama are two new additions to Sonny Corinthos' security detail, Paul and Peter. Tasked with ensuring the safe relocation of the late Natalia Ramirez to Belize, their inaction have sparked intense speculation. Sonny, in a gesture of goodwill, had arranged a fresh start for Natalia, setting her up with a new life far from Port Charles. Tragically, she never made it to her destination. Paul, who was initially assigned to oversee her departure, failed to follow through after Natalia requested time to gather her belongings. Instead of staying by her side, he vanished without a trace, leaving her vulnerable. This glaring lapse in duty raises a critical question: was Paul's absence a simple oversight, or something far more sinister? Adding fuel to the fire, Natalia made an unexpected and disruptive appearance at Daisy Gilmore's christening, a sacred event turned chaotic by her presence. With Paul nowhere to be found, Sonny was forced to dispatch Peter to escort her back to her temporary residence at the Metro Court. While Peter did return after this task, his behavior took a troubling turn when law enforcement, including Anna Devane and Harrison Chase, arrived on the scene. Rather than standing his ground or reporting back to Sonny, Peter fled under mysterious circumstances. This sudden disappearance left a bitter taste in everyone's mouth. Why would a loyal guard run from authorities unless he had something to hide? Even more damning, a contact in Belize later informed Jason Morgan that Natalia never boarded her scheduled flight, a devastating confirmation of her fate. With both guards failing to check in with Sonny or provide updates on Natalia's status, the seeds of doubt have been firmly planted. Could Paul and Peter be modern-day Judases, betraying the very man they swore to protect? A fiery attack and hidden enemies. While Sunny's security detail was conspicuously absent, chaos erupted elsewhere in Port Charles with a devastating attack on Charlie's pub. In a horrifying turn of events, two unknown assailants set the establishment ablaze, trapping Sunny's beloved daughter, Christina Corinthos Davis, inside the inferno. The flames roared with deadly intent, and it seemed as though tragedy was inevitable. Miraculously, local hero Marco Rios braved the fire to rescue Christina, pulling her from the jaws of death just in time. The emotional toll of this near-fatal incident has shaken the Corinthos family to its core, with Sunny grappling with guilt and rage over the targeting of his child. The question looms large: who orchestrated this vicious act, and why? Suspicion quickly fell on Jen Sidwell, a notorious figure whose shadowy dealings have long plagued Port Charles. Sidwell attempted to deflect blame by pointing fingers at Selena Wu, claiming the arsonists were her henchmen. However, Selena was quick to call out his deception, recognizing the planted evidence as a clumsy setup. This elaborate frame job only deepens the mystery. Could Sidwell be working with someone closer to Sunny than anyone realizes? A chilling theory has emerged. What if the thugs who torched Charlie's pub weren't Selena's men at all, but rather operatives tied to Sunny's own guards, Paul and Peter? Their absence during these critical moments is impossible to ignore. Were they off coordinating this attack instead of protecting Natalia or reporting to Sunny? The possibility that they've earned the nicknames Judas Paul and Judas Peter grows stronger by the day, as their loyalties appear increasingly questionable. Unanswered questions surrounding Natalia's death. The tragic demise of Natalia Ramirez remains a haunting puzzle, with more questions than answers. While Sunny was recently released from questioning at the Port Charles Police Department, the investigation is far from over. Autopsy results and toxicology reports on the pills found near Natalia are still pending, and their findings could blow the case wide open. Initial speculation suggests that the pills might have been poisoned or deliberately mislabeled, casting doubt on the idea of a simple overdose. If Natalia had intended to end her life, experts argue she likely would have consumed the entire stash in one go. Instead, evidence points to her taking the pills in at least two separate instances, accompanied by an alcoholic beverage. This unusual pattern raises a sinister possibility: was the liquor itself laced with a deadly substance? The potential involvement of Paul and Peter in this grim scenario cannot be overlooked. As members of Sunny's security team, both guards would have had unrestricted access to Natalia's Metro Court suite during her absences. Slipping a toxic agent into her pills or spiking her drink would have been child's play for someone with nefarious intent. Could they have acted on orders from a higher power, such as Jen Sidwell, who seems determined to eliminate any competition in Port Charles' underworld? Sidwell's ruthless ambition to become the sole big bad in town might have driven him to orchestrate a double strike, first by sabotaging Natalia, and then by targeting Sunny's family through the pub fire. If Paul and Peter are indeed working for Sidwell, their betrayal cuts deeper than anyone could have imagined. The thought of trusted guards turning against Sunny is a bitter pill to swallow, but in a town like Port Charles, loyalty is often a fragile commodity. As the layers of this dark saga continue to peel back, Sunny Corinthos finds himself at a crossroads. The potential treachery of Paul and Peter threatens to undermine everything he's built, both as a father and as a formidable figure in Port Charles. The safety of his family, especially Christina, hangs in the balance, while the ghost of Natalia Ramirez looms as a stark reminder of the cost of misplaced trust. Will the autopsy results confirm foul play? And if so, will they point directly to the guards who failed in their duties? More importantly, can Sunny uncover the truth before Sidwell or whoever pulls the string strikes again? The whispers of betrayal grow louder with each passing day, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Paul and Peter's actions, or lack thereof, paint a damning picture of disloyalty, but definitive proof remains elusive. Meanwhile, Jen Sidwell's shadow looms ominously over Port Charles, his schemes threatening to engulf everyone in their path. For Sunny, the battle is not just for power, but for survival. As he fights to protect his loved ones and reclaim control, one thing is certain: in a world of false friends and hidden enemies, trust is a luxury he can ill afford. Next, we will explore the electrifying twists and emotional turns awaiting us in Port Charles over the next 2 weeks, from July 7th to 18th. Brace yourselves for a roller coaster of drama as heartbreak, explosive rivalries, and mysterious returns dominate the landscape of our favorite ABC soap opera. From Emma Scorpio Drake's tearful struggles to the fiery clash between Sonny Corinthos and Jen Sidwell, there's no shortage of intrigue. Add in whispers of Britt Westburn's potential comeback and a slew of shocking discoveries, and you've got a recipe for must-watch television. Let's dive into the juicy details and uncover what's in store for the residents of Port Charles during this thrilling period. Week of July 7th. Emotional turmoil and rising tensions. Kicking off the first week of July 7th, Port Charles is buzzing with intense confrontations and heart-wrenching moments. At the forefront is a charged encounter between Police Commissioner Anna Devane and the notorious Jen Sidwell. Determined to get to the bottom of recent disturbances, Anna presses Sidwell for answers about his shadowy dealings. However, the cunning Sidwell deflects responsibility with ease, pointing an accusatory finger at Sonny Corinthos as the true source of chaos. This verbal sparring match leaves a bitter taste, as Anna must navigate a web of deceit to uncover the real puppet master behind Port Charles unrest. Could this clash be the spark that ignites an even larger fire between rival factions? Meanwhile, young Emma Scorpio Drake finds herself grappling with a profound sense of loss that tugs at the heartstrings. Though her relationship with Giovanni Joe Palmieri hasn't officially blossomed into romance, their growing connection has become a beacon of light for her. Yet, a dark cloud looms over Emma as she faces a devastating personal setback. Rumor has it that this heartbreak might center on Outback, the beloved stray dog she and Joe have been caring for. What if the dog's original owner resurfaces, demanding Outback's return and shattering Emma's newfound joy? The emotional fallout could be immense, but thankfully, Emma finds solace in the comforting embrace of her grandmother, Laura Collins, whose wisdom and warmth offer a much-needed lifeline during this trying time. Elsewhere, Sasha Gilmore Corbin stumbles upon a chilling revelation that sends shivers down her spine. The mental games plaguing both Sasha and Daisy Gilmore Corinthos take a sinister turn as Sasha uncovers something that shakes her to her core. Could she experience another unnerving episode, perhaps hearing phantom footsteps or seeing fleeting shadows in the house when no one is there? This terrifying discovery fuels her paranoia, leaving her to question whether she's losing her grip on reality or if a malicious force is truly at play. As Sasha battles her inner demons, the stakes grow higher, and her search for the truth becomes a desperate mission. Family tensions also flare as Lulu Spencer faces an uncomfortable interrogation from her son, Rocco Falconeri, regarding Britt Westburn's role in his past. The conversation unearths painful memories, and Lulu's frustration boils over, leading to a heated outburst directed at Brooklyn Quartermain. The clash between these two fierce women exposes old wounds and unresolved grudges, threatening to fracture family ties further. At the same time, Cody Bell makes a bold move toward Ava Jerome, stirring the pot with his unpredictable charm. Meanwhile, Max Scorpio plays matchmaker, attempting to nudge Cody closer to Molly Lansing Davis in a surprising twist of romantic meddling. Felicia Scorpio, ever the source of insight, provides Curtis Ashford with a critical update on Jacinda, a mysterious figure whose presence could alter the course of several lives. Lastly, Drew Kane secures a powerful advantage over a longtime adversary, setting the stage for a strategic showdown that could shift the balance of power in Port Charles. Week of July 14th, Retaliation and Revelations. As we move into the week of July 14th, the aftermath of recent events reverberates through Port Charles, bringing with it a wave of retaliation and unexpected developments. Rocco Falconeri, still reeling from the revelations about Britt Westburn, grapples with feelings of anger and betrayal toward his family. His frustration mirrors the bitterness Joe harbors toward Brooklyn Quartermain and Dante Falconeri, creating a volatile atmosphere where trust hangs by a thread. Could Rocco's disillusionment push him to make impulsive decisions, further straining familial bonds? The emotional undercurrents run deep, and the potential for reconciliation seems distant amidst the storm of resentment. The war between Sonny Corinthos and Jen Sidwell escalates to dangerous new heights as both sides refuse to back down. With each retaliatory strike, the line between ally and enemy blurs, and the collateral damage mounts. Adding to the chaos is Marco Rios, whose fury over Natalia Ramirez's tragic death drives a wedge between him and Sonny. Heartbroken and seeking justice, Marco teeters on the edge of darkness, tempted to align himself with forces that could spell disaster for Sunny's empire. Whispers suggest that Marco's grief might lead him to make a pact with Sidwell, a decision that would send shockwaves through Port Charles and forever alter the balance of power. As the conflict intensifies, every move becomes a calculated risk, and loyalty becomes a rare currency. On a more enigmatic note, the storyline surrounding Britt Westburn's potential return gains momentum. Fans are buzzing with anticipation as new details emerge, hinting at a series of flashback sequences that promise to shed light on Britt's complex history. These glimpses into the past could unravel long-buried secrets about her connections to key players in Port Charles, including her tumultuous ties to the Spencer and Falconeri families. Perhaps we'll see tender moments between Britt and her late brother, Nathan West, or uncover hidden motives behind her past schemes. Whatever the case, these revelations are poised to redefine how we view Britt's legacy, paving the way for a dramatic re-entry that could either heal old wounds or ignite fresh conflicts. A glimpse into Port Charles' unpredictable future. As these 2 weeks unfold, the tapestry of Port Charles weaves together heartbreak, betrayal, and the ever-present specter of danger. Emma Scorpio Drake's emotional journey reminds us of the fragile bonds that tie us to those we love, they human or furry companions. The escalating feud between Sunny and Sidwell serves as a stark warning of the high cost of power, while Sash's horrifying discovery hints at unseen threats lurking in the shadows. Rocco's quest for answers about Britt Westburn underscores the weight of family secrets, and the tantalizing possibility of Britt's return keeps us on the edge of our seats. Each character faces their own crucible, forging paths that could lead to redemption or ruin. Will Anna Devane pierce through Sidwell's web of lies to uncover the truth? Can Emma find strength in the wake of loss? And will Sash's fears prove to be more than mere illusions? As Sunny battles to protect his territory, will Marco's grief drive him to betrayal? And what bombshells will Britt's return unleash upon Port Charles? The answers lie just beyond the horizon, promising a saga of passion, peril, and profound revelations. Stay locked into ABC General Hospital spoilers for all the latest updates on these gripping storylines. We want to hear from you. Share your predictions and thoughts in the comments below. Will love triumph over loss, or will vengeance claim its toll? Let's discuss.